Yes, welcome once again, everybody. Cannabis News. I'm your host, Joe Klare. It's February 18th, 2019, presented as always by the Marijuana Times. Check us out at marijuanatimes.org. Click the video tab there to find the show. Bunch of great articles there as well, social media links, and more. marijuanatimes.org. Also, make sure you search the Marijuana Times on Apple Podcasts. Get the audio-only version of the show. Today, we're talking about New York City officials considering some sort of ban against marijuana testing or drug testing or testing for marijuana for employment. Also, talking about medical marijuana, a little update about what's going on in Missouri, and do cannabis jobs pay more than jobs in other industries? We'll find out tonight at 10. No, we'll find out here in just a few minutes because I've started the show and it's the third story, so I'll get to it eventually. But all that is coming. All that amazingness is coming. But first, Cannabis News is brought to you by Natureside, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. Make sure you grow safe and poison-free. Don't use harmful chemicals on what you are growing. You want to be regulatory compliant in the state that you are growing in. And you never want to use harmful chemicals on whatever you're growing, no matter what it is. You need Natureside. Check it out, nature-side.com, a proud sponsor of Cannabis News. They're awesome. There's many, many reasons to go check them out besides the fact that they are awesome. If you're growing something and you're using harmful pesticides, well, you're the number one audience that needs to go. So go. Not right now. You're watching the show now, but after the show, of course. You know, when I tell you to go look at Natureside and their website, you know I mean after the show. Because what I got to say is important. Or at least I like to think so. That's what I tell myself. In any case, this first story is by Jason Sander at marijuanatimes.org. New York City officials consider ban on pre-employment drug testing for cannabis. New York City Council's Progressive Caucus has recently introduced a bill that would prevent employers from testing job applicants for cannabis. NYC Councilman Jumaine Williams is introducing the bill, and its goal is to end drug testing for THC as a prerequisite for employment in most jobs. The bill reportedly would not apply to police or jobs that require the use of heavy machinery, among a few others. New York State could possibly legalize recreational use of cannabis in the near future. Williams takes a strong stand against testing for the plant. He said it doesn't make sense that this would be something that would prevent someone from gaining gainful employment. So that's what's going on in New York City. Obviously, employers, it makes no sense for them to test for marijuana. Whether or not that's something that you want the government involved in, I don't know. I mean, I don't think the government has a good track record with most things. You guys, if you watch the show enough, you know that's my angle on things. And so I think you see a lot of places like you see stories about the FBI. They're relaxing their prerequisites when it comes to marijuana use in the past and things like that, because as time goes on, the market is going to force a lot of employers to stop testing for THC. There's simply not enough of an employment pool left to get done what they need to get done. And the more they shrink that employment pool, the more they're going to have to pay those people. It's simple supply and demand. If you're shrinking the supply of available employees, you have to pay them more to get them to come work for you. And most employers on their own are going to drop THC. Now, I know a lot of people out there are saying, well, you just get the government to do it and then it's done and it's righting a wrong and so on and so forth, and that's great. I'm just saying, beware of how quick you are to get the government involved in these things. The government was involved with regulating cannabis for the last 80 years, as in completely prohibiting it. So, I mean, I don't know. Call me a cynic, but I'm not going to trust their expertise when it comes to this. But that's what's going on in New York City. This next story, STLtoday.com. Medical marijuana fees generate $3 million for Missouri coffers. Not to be confused with people who cough, but, like an old-timey word for, like, the vault where they keep the tax money. They're filling the vault like Scrooge McDuck with the tax money. Companies trying to cash in on Missouri's medical marijuana program have set the state $3,020,000 in application fees, according to the Department of Health and Senior Services. So far, the state has received 418 pre-filed application forms, 128 for cultivation facility licenses, 226 for dispensary licenses, and 64 for marijuana-infused manufacturing facility licenses. That's a lot of licenses. The same company couldn't seek multiple licenses as well. The department collected more than $2 million of that $3 million the first week it began collecting fees in January. So things are rolling in Missouri. Over 200 dispensary licenses. It's not bad, I guess, for a state of Missouri size. Over 100 growers, few dozen marijuana-infused manufacturing facilities, several dozen. So that's a good. There's some good numbers. He said, not being an expert on it, on how many there should be in Missouri. Oh, I'm looking at these numbers, and what I'm saying to myself is, well, it's a lot more than zero, so that's pretty good. Sometimes that's the standard. It's a lot more than zero, and that's a good thing, especially for medical marijuana patients in Missouri. How quickly all this gets done, well, that all remains to be seen. This last story from CNBC.com. Cannabis jobs pay 11% more than the U.S. median salary, and demand is up 76%. As more states legalize cannabis usage, the industry that provides the drug has gotten a burst of confidence in its long-term prospects and is rapidly expanding. Job openings rose 76% from December of 2017 to December of 2018. This is according to the job site Glassdoor. The industry's acceleration doesn't appear to be slowing down anytime soon either, as this latest upsurge only continues a trend Glassdoor has been observing over the past few years, thanks to loosening restrictions on the drug. Of course, the drug being cannabis, plant, if you will. Last year, 7 states and Washington, D.C. all approved measures changing their stance on cannabis. Public support, of course, in recent Gallup polls and Canada's decision to legalize cannabis at a federal level last year seem to be inspiring the industry to make big human resource investments, despite the legal issues it can face on a national level. Daniel Zhao, an economist and data scientist with Glassdoor, wrote on the company's blog, quote, "Investment in hiring is one of the strongest indicators for business confidence, as it requires a substantial long-term investment of time, effort, and money." In other words, a lot of these companies are feeling they're more comfortable with what's going on. They're more sure of their footing when it comes to the cannabis industry and what's going to happen in the next few years. And they decide, well, if they want to expand and they want to take advantage of this rapidly expanding market, now is the time to invest money in a fast-growing workforce and get this done. Get this done. That's right. You can tell I was a corporate go-go speech guy at the corporate places, right? At the retreats. I was the guy that got up on stage and screamed in the microphone, "Let's go. Let's get this done." We're a corporation. We make things. We sell to people. Come on. Let's get this done. And they would all get up and cheer and run out of the room. It was great. It was a great time in my life. I miss the excitement. But I'm here, and that's even better, doing cannabis news 5 days a week. Make sure you check us out at marijuanatimes.org. Thank you to NatureSide, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. Keep spreading the truth about cannabis with this show, liking, sharing, commenting on the videos. Of course, check us out on YouTube as well, and subscribe. Almost 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. That is awesome. Make sure you click the little notification bell so you know when a new episode of Cannabis News has dropped. Thank you for watching and listening today, and we will see you next time right here on the aforementioned Cannabis News.